guys, welcome back to Amazing Coaster Tour as we continue to support dementia with every lift hill that we climb. The Hogwarts Express was our chariot to get us here to Universal Studios from Islands of Adventure, and what a magical journey it is from Hogsmeade Station, taking in all the sights beyond Hogwarts Castle. Wait, hold on, cut. I'm in the middle of the park here. Why am I starting this vlog in the middle of the park? It just doesn't make sense. I'm going to have to do something here. I tell you what, me and Mrs. H will head back towards the park entrance and we'll meet you there to start this vlog for real. And here we are, in front of these magnificent archways at the entrance of Universal Studios Florida. The one thing I will say about entering any Florida park is that you can never ever go into the park in a bad mood. I've got to give Universal Resort a big up here because at the park entrance there's hardly ever any queue. It's like they open up another entrance if they do see a queue. Fantastic. So here we are. First thing you come across is Minion Land. You'll find two attractions in this area of the park. You've got Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem, and directly opposite, if you look to the right, we've got the newest addition to Minion Land, which is Minion Blast, which I can only describe as a frenzy of shoot-'em-up action, which has you standing on a move-in walkway with a big gun, shooting loads of characters from the Minions cartoon franchise. It's fantastic. Me and Mrs. H just had a right laugh on Minion Blast. She's so competitive. She kept pushing me off my little pedestal. You know, look down on the floor, it's got like 2 feet signs where to stand and put your feet like. And I turns around to go and shoot a few things, and Mrs. H is pushing me off my pedestal all the time. Still, I had the final laugh when she saw my score at the end. Next time, Mrs. H. Such a poor loser. But never mind, she might get her revenge on Men in Black later, who knows. Oh, there you go. First look at Rip Ride Rocket. We'll have a go at that later, no doubt. Just wanted to say here as well, like Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem, such a fun experience, you know, it's brilliant. You go into the auditorium, get involved in this like cartoon adventure that you find yourself in. Everything's a little bit chaotic, but yeah, great fun for children, and of course big children like me and Mrs. H. Right, so we've left Minion Land now and we're walking through New York, and unfortunately Race Through New York, who's starring Jimmy Fallon, was down, so me and Mrs. H haven't been able to have a go at that this time. Bit of salsa music in the background, dancers up in there, look. Yeah, very good show going on at the moment. I believe they get people from the audience up to dance. Won't catch me doing it though. But where we are now, we're going to experience my favourite ride in Universal Studios, the dark coaster, which is Revenge of the Mummy. Mrs. H put an application in for me to be one of these guys on stilts by her, but they rejected it, saying that my muscles were too big. Of course, this ride has had its problems in the past, but I believe now it's all on point, so we should be in for a great ride. It's got loads of special effects, it's got forwards and backwards thrills, so me and Mrs. H are going to give it a go. So we find ourselves back by King's Cross Station again. We had to bypass the area by Fast and Furious. There had a few work walls up there. I don't know what was going on really, but looked like they were setting up some sort of display. Not sure whether it was temporary or not, but we'll have a little look later on. Oh, look at that telephone box. Don't see many of them in the UK these days. But missing out on Fast and Furious, not the end of the world. It's one of those attractions where, unfortunately for me, the queue line is more exciting than the attraction itself. Diagon Alley. Let's check this out. I love how they've angled these walls so you can't see what's in front of you as you come around the corner. But when you do, it all opens up and it's magnificent. Look at it. The level of detail that there is around here is just out of this world, you know. The creativity shown here beggars belief. You know, you've got the train station next door and there's a bridge that comes across here in front of Diagon Alley, and it makes sound effects of trains going past. It's like they thought of everything. And here we are at the Leaky Cauldron. You can have a breakfast. Don't think we'll be getting up early enough for that though. Me and Mrs H like to have a bit of a lie-in the mornings. Mrs H loves Harry Potter. She queued for hours outside the bookshops to get the books so she could read them in the first day. There she is, look, taking it all in. Quite quiet in this area today, to be fair, so hopefully we won't have any problems getting on Gringotts. But yeah, let's have a look in the windows here. Gilderoy Lockhart, he was a bit of a phony and a wimp in the films, wasn't he? But I just love the way that they've got all this interaction in the windows. I don't normally get a chance to look in the windows because usually there's queues of kids standing around waving their wands trying to get things to move, like I mentioned before. All the wands are interactive, and as we walk around you probably see some people standing there waving their wands trying to get the action done. The level of detail around here is fantastic, mate, gotta be said. And oh, look at that. Over here, look, Ollivanders has got another shop in Diagon Alley. Go with this Hogsmeade shop. Must have a little franchise going on. I am quite surprised though how much room I've actually got to walk around here today, because normally this street is packed where people are just focusing their attention on the dragon above Gringotts Bank, because that dragon will blow fire at certain points in time during the day, and generally it's just a big standstill in front of Gringotts looking up at this dragon. So yeah, all good. We can move around the park quite freely here, which is a change. Although strangely, it's a lot noisier around here when there's less people. I think it's like the acoustics are bouncing things off of each other. My left here is the Fountain of Fair Fortune, beer production. Murder of beer right now, but I don't think Mrs H will allow me driving this evening, see? Well, pointing wands are everything here. I've never done it, to be honest. I've never purchased a wand. I'd be interested to know really how many attractions around Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley there is for you to interact with your wand. So we just entered a little area by Borgin and Burke's, and I didn't even realise there was like a little tunnel leading through. Pitch black in there, couldn't do any filming like, but walked through the tunnel, past the shop, and it's brought us back up by Weasley's joke shop. So yeah, discovered something new in the park today. Never really entertained the idea of walking down there, but amazing how you can find some little nooks and crannies that you've never seen before and then end up basically discovering something new. Well. Lost Mrs H again though. She's in here somewhere, but who knows? Probably bump into her now while I go looking for the dragon breathing fire. Let's get a quick look by her now as a member of staff there, and usually one to get things moving. Maybe it's something that wasn't working at it, he's testing it like. But let's see if he gets something. Make a lot of noise. Can't see anything moving in there at the moment. We'll see. Few attempts. Nothing. Oh, there you go. Something moving in the corner there, look. I love the soundtrack around here as well, you know, you've got remnants of the Harry Potter theme tune, and then it goes into different music, and yeah, it's really, really good. And up here on my right here is a little stage. At some point you'll see some Death Eaters coming down there. They come out into Diagon Alley and they torment people. Well, they're not allowed to torment people, but they do learn how to go right up in your face, try to scare you. Not scare me though. Probably frighten Mrs. H because she's scared of like mice. You know what I mean? Came here for Halloween Horror Nights, and she followed me around the park. Every single room that we went to, every house that we saw, I was walking in front, getting the people jumping out on me. Mrs. H is walking behind me, little arms in front, holding on to the back of my t-shirt. Funny, very funny. Oh, there you go, there's the dragon I was talking about. We'll see him breathing some fire later. But we're approaching Escape from Gringotts, so we'll get on this ride and tell you all about it. So we've just had our ride on Escape from Gringotts, and I'll tell you a little bit about it in a little while, but I'm stood here now waiting for this dragon to breathe fire. So here we go. No queue for the night bus. Let's go and get some action with the conductor.
Hello. Good morning. How are you? Good, thank you. You from the UK? Yeah. Where are you from? Wales. Oh, they're from Wales.
Wait, you say you live in a whale?
I don't live in a whale.
Like, you mean like a wishing whale or like a killer whale?
No, like Wales, the country, mate.
Okay, yes. I'm familiar, yeah.
Your favourite, I think your favourite Quidditch team plays in Wales.
Yeah, the Harley Head Harpies.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah, they got nice uniform.
Yeah. I wish we could go to a match, but we've got to wait on our bus driver at the moment. Went to run an errand in Diagon Alley, so we're a bit stranded ourselves currently.
Man, that driver, he been gone too long, man. He's taking forever.
Taking a long while in there, yeah. If you happen to see him, if you go back in there, let him know to get back to work. We're still waiting on him.
Yeah, tell him to sit that head on over.
Yeah, head on over. That'd be great. If you'd like to have a look, though, we have got a platform back there. Check it out if you like. No worries.
That was great. We've never had that interaction before. Anyway, back to this Escape from Gringotts. Now, for me, it's a great attraction. You know, a dark coaster, lots of special effects, lots of scenes where you interact with Harry Potter and his friends, etc. But when you compare it to the Forbidden Journey and Hagrid's motorbike ride, it does fall a little bit short in my opinion. I definitely put it third on the list of Harry Potter attractions. Still pretty awesome, and pretty awesome that we get to look around this bus. So we're in the far corner of the park now, and this is probably my least favourite area of the park. There's an unused stadium there that they only seem to bring out at Halloween Horror Nights, and of course Men in Black. Let's go and beat Mrs. H and shoot them up again. We've just had a mad experience on Men in Black Alien Attack. Our car broke down, and we were just stranded there for like 15 minutes. But what Mrs. H didn't realise was that our guns were still working, and I just kept shooting the same thing all the time. Now, of course, being the competitor that she is, Mrs. H didn't want to accept that as a fair game, even though I had like 3 times her score by the time our car started moving again. But like I said about this area just now, I'm not a fan, if I'm being totally honest. I think this area of the park needs a regeneration, and there has been talk that something could be on the way, potentially a Back to the Future roller coaster, but for now the Simpson ride's still here, which isn't as good as the Back to the Future ride that preceded it. I'll just nip in the quickie mart now, get myself a 6-pack of Duff. Anyway, what I will say about this area is that Universal have really captured the town of Springfield exceptionally well. Whether or not this area is going to remain, who knows? It's just that now that Disney have obtained the rights to the Simpsons franchise, would Universal want to be competing against Disney in one of the things that they've actually brought on board themselves, and no doubt will incorporate at some point within the Disney parks? It's a difficult one for Universal because, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of investment has been made in this area, and to just rip it all down would be a shame. But I feel that this is where we're going, and if there are rumours of things like Back to the Future returning to the park, I for one would love to see Hill Valley in this area of the park. That would be fantastic. Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. Quote from Back to the Future, best trilogy movie of all time. Grey Sports Almanac there, the flux capacitor, awesome. I just love Back to the Future. I just think that no matter whether you're 5, 10, 20, 50, 60, whatever, there's enough in those films to make everybody happy. Yeah, and like I said, if Back to the Future does come back to the park, then I'm all for it. And there it is, look. Nice little plaque in front of the DeLorean, quoting the exact thing that I just spoke of. Love it. Emmett Brown's train there from Back to the Future 3. The way I look at it, in terms of bringing Back to the Future back to Universal Studios, there's just, well, technology's moved on so much since it was last year, and there's just so much that they could do that would relate to all 3 movies. I wouldn't even be surprised to see a new franchise of the film coming out, if I'm being totally honest. So we do have a new land opening in this area of the park, down by E.T. Adventure. DreamWorks World, not quite open yet. As I turn around, we see Transformers The Ride, Mrs. H's favourite 3D ride attraction at Universal Resort, where Optimus Prime is fighting off the Decepticons to save the Allspark. Let's get her on it. Just had our little ride there on Transformers, and fair to say Mrs. H still enjoys that ride quite a lot. She obviously likes it still over Spider-Man. Me, I just think there's too much going on. You know, you're trying to feast your eyes on the screen, but there's just too much action going on, at least with Spider-Man. The storyline, it just flows, whereas this, I feel, is a little bit haphazard, to say the least. All a bit frantic. But like, as you can see now, we're walking down, and in front of us we have Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. We're going to get some off-ride shots. Me and Mrs. H are going to jump on, and then I'll tell you exactly how it rides. As we approach the entrance here to Rip Ride Rocket, I just want to say, for me, I've always found this ride a little bit rough. Rumour has it that it's only running smooth in the front car, but like, as I said, we'll probably end up with the back car and a rough ride, so we'll probably be able to give you a good overview. So here we go. I'm going to be frank, open and honest about this. We ended up in the second car of the 2, and the only comfortable part of the ride was the lift hill. But as soon as you come over that first drop, everything about the ride is crazy rough. Lap bar restraints are uncomfortable. When you turn, you're forced into this hard plastic, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a bruise or 2. It's not all negative. The lift hill is great and the ability to choose a soundtrack is fantastic, but for me the ride experience is let down very much so due to the fact that it's a very, very painful ride. If you're not in the front car, it will hurt. As we make our way up here along Hollywood Boulevard, we come across what I believe is the best live action show on offer in Florida today. Bourne Stuntacular. Best way to describe it without giving too much away is a live action show where the entire scene moves as the story progresses. You just need to see it. Amazing. And we've just exited the Bourne Stuntacular show, and having seen it a few times now, it's still amazing as far as I'm concerned. The level of detail in there, sound effects, visual effects, out of this world. And now we're walking through Beverly Hills, and the mystery machine is parked up at the side of the road. Scooby-Doo and his mates must be doing a bit of shopping, looking for one of them really expensive handbags you can buy. We're walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and just like the real thing, you've got the stars on the ground, depicting all the Hollywood greats from past and present. Awesome. Quite a riveting soundtrack around here as well. So here we are, back in front of Universal's iconic globe to end this vlog. We've had a great visit to Universal Studios and also Islands of Adventure, and we'd like to take you along for the ride as we support dementia with every lift hill that we climb. If you like our content, please subscribe, and if you can, please donate to our good cause. All the details are on screen now.